What it do, little baby? We back again. Grounded show. Your eyes do not deceive you. I am recording on a Motorola Razr. My camera is down right now. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we gonna thug it out. I'm here with the homie Quincy Jamal,
Yeah.
Joe Fernese,
However do you
and
want
it's
it.
your boy Lesteroni on the rocks. What it do?
Ain't nothing stopping us. No technology is gonna stop this from happening.
Facts, bro. Um, man, it's been an eventful week, an eventful couple of weeks. Considering the election and everything as well.
hmm
Um, I'm just, bro. I feel like we've been in a blender, dog. I feel
Yeah,
like,
it's been tough.
Yeah. No, for
It has
sure.
been tough. So let me see. The election was last Tuesday. It's been a week, yeah, and it hasn't got any different. I feel like the feedback from the election is still present today. I don't think anything has changed. I think everybody still feels strongly about getting their voice out. Like we said, we had that conversation. Is this the new norm? It's still lingering.
yeah, for sure. It's definitely we're in a transition period for sure. Things have been changing over the last 20 years, just in general. Even kind of going back to what we was talking about, as far as racism and how it's progressed and the openness of it. Things have changed so drastically in the last 20 years that it's like I think it's everything's kind of starting to catch up and realize like, okay, this is the new norm. We need to set some boundaries here and start making some changes and stuff. It's just it's wild, man. It's we're getting to a place where you can't trust information no matter where it's coming from.
hmm
And that part is like, to me, that's the scariest part because now we don't have any true, tried and true, this is the truth sources, or at least we don't feel that way like we were able to in the past. And
hmm
it's almost like now, like, you got to go through something yourself to like verify it because you could even find people online talking about something and you'll find a whole like troll side of it where they're trying to tell you the wrong thing or trying to tell you something incorrect just to kind of like troll, you know what I mean? Like whenever you're looking for an answer for a question or something online, I don't know if y'all have come across that, but like there's like a section of it where it'll just be like intentionally telling you the wrong thing for what you're searching, like telling you the thing that could be the worst
Yeah.
possible outcome. You know what I mean? Like to basically get you to mess up. Like if you're asking for tips for a lawnmower or something, they'll be like, yeah, definitely don't put oil in it for sure. Like they're just telling you like the wrong thing because they just
It
want you to
is
mess it up. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's like, bro, we're getting into like a weird place with that, dog. Yeah,
I
into a
will say,
breakaway
I
point.
mean, you definitely miss. It almost makes you kind of miss the ignorance is bliss kind of life. You know what I mean? As far as like you said, you kind of mentioned it a lot of times. The too much information, like
Yo,
you
yeah,
are
yeah,
meant to have
facts.
this much information.
Hmm.
It kind of makes you miss when you had like three outlets and you just take it or leave it. You know?
And
Yeah.
that's how I feel about the election. I had even commented that on one of the posts that we put. Like, I just wish I was ignorant to all this stuff. You know what I mean? I wish
hmm
I was. They said one of the top Google searches after, I mean, the day before the election or the day of the election, one of the two. One of the top Google searches was, "Did Joe Biden drop out?"
Yeah. And is
Like,
Donald Trump racist?
yeah,
hmm
like, and they were even saying like, they were debating on if the length of the campaign hurt Kamala Harris, like what the reasons were for the loss. But it's like
Hmm.
aside from that, it's like, bro, the fact that people are saying, did Joe Biden drop out of the race with how much information we have at this point? For you not to, even if it's only been 3 months, bro,
Yeah.
the type of
Hella
access that
clueless.
everybody has to not know that, bro, like for that to even be a search is crazy, dog. That's crazy.
That's just, and that shows the impact of trending topics. And when, I mean, if y'all want to go into the Elon Musk and how he controlled Twitter, social media, for the political race, I mean, we can, but we don't have to. But it's like social media is a direct source for people now to learn their news. It's not digging through reliable sources. Like, nah, let me see what Instagram talking about. Let me see what Twitter talking about. You know?
Yeah, I think I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Denzel. but it might have been somebody else. But
It was
Denzel
Denzel.
Washington,
I know
you
exactly
know
what
what I'm
you're
about to
talking
say,
about.
about how he basically said that now people care more about being first, not being right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get the first word of something and you put the information out. You don't verify it. You don't check it. You just want to be the first one to put it out. And I feel like that's a lot of what we get now. So it's kind of hard to you know sift through that sometimes.
It's microwave media.
Hmm.
Bro, it's so funny to me. This is kind of like a sidebar, but it's just in the same vein. Like, it's so funny to me how as time progresses, everything is so much like pro wrestling, dog. Like the more you peel back the layers of stuff, and there's a crazy correlation there with Donald Trump specifically, because there's a lot of things that point to Donald Trump basically taking the wrestler mentality, wrestler style, and molding it into the political sphere to be able to use it in a way where it got him where it is. You know what I mean? Like a way, basically, he used it as a way to maximize his style of charisma.
Hmm.
He kind of he kind of borrowed that wrestling model of how you create friction with an
The
audience.
heel versus babyface to get them
Yeah,
Exactly.
over. Yeah.
yeah,
And he kind of mastered that and brought that forward. And even like what we were just talking about now, like if people just want to be first, that's a thing from wrestling. Like just from the point of view of like people would try to leak information from a wrestling company to kind of like ruin like what a match was going to be or whatever.
yeah.
And they'll say, hey, I heard that this guy's going to win because Shawn Michaels is going on vacation, so they're going to give the belt to Undertaker because of this or
Yeah.
that or whatever. And
Hmm.
then it doesn't happen, and then the person that leaked the information, their cover is something along the lines of like, it's wrestling, plans change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
it's like, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose of if you're giving some information and it's supposed to be a fact and it's not a fact, you're giving wrong information. The whole point is the things can't change. You feel me? And
Yeah.
that's kind of something that's happening with the political landscape too, where it's like you see and hear something and then they tell you something different after, like, no, you're not supposed to take this information and this is the real facts here. And then you're reading the real facts, and then the real facts have a disclaimer that says, actually, you got to read these articles to get the full
Yeah.
context. And then by the time you're reading everything, it's just you basically coming up with your own decision, because all of this stuff falls in a gray area. You know what I mean? There is no fact. It's all fiction. You know what I
And
mean?
you know what's crazy? And I kind of hated it at first, but now I appreciate it a little bit. When you're on like Facebook or Instagram and the AI, as soon as you click the comment section, the AI has a summary of the comment section for you. And it says like the population is stating like this is fake, that nobody's agreeing to this. There's no certified reliable sources that proving this stuff is factual. This is all like just speculation from a group of people who are just spreading these comments. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I don't even have to look in the comment section. And that's the very first thing that comes up. And it tells you like pretty much this is bullshit. Don't
Right.
worry about it. This is bullshit. Don't worry about it.
It's
I'm
for
like, all right,
entertainment purposes.
bet. I'm not even going to entertain this article from this point.
Yeah. And it even bleeds into like personal and creative projects and other stuff that I do, because and I know Quincy feels this, is like you kind of fall into that as like an artist or just anybody trying to get anything creative off. You gotta create content. You gotta provide information and constant, basically just constant entertainment all the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because of the landscape that we're in.
Right.
The same way the stuff is happening with politics, that's how it happens with everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like things are coming across certain ways because it's what works in this setting, in this environment. And if you're the type of person that this is not your wave, it's super tough to navigate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's how I am. It's like we're not the type of people that be online like, yo, tell me what it is, chat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we don't say stuff like that. We ain't come up like that. So for us to be on that wave is different and it's difficult sometimes. I heard ASAP Ferg, which now he's trying to go by Ferg, just so people can identify him as him. Not so much that he's not on the ASAP wave. It's just he was like that was like more like a group think, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to be on my own wave. But
Hmm.
he was saying, just as an older artist, how this vulnerability and this talking into the camera and this giving yourself to the audience, that's a new thing, and you got to embrace it if you're trying to be current and sit in certain spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I've been working with artists lately, just getting into like more of my production side, and just working on helping other people put their songs together, not on like the songwriting tip or anything like that, but just like producing the instrumental and kind of executive producing kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's like the kind of thing I've been trying to be on. And talking to the artist, it was kind of like the same conversation, like trying to figure out where you could fit into the space, like because you have to play the game to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you can talk the authenticity thing all you want on one side. You can also argue the other side of like you got to stay with the times, and this is the people that's winning.
Right.
Either way you slice it, like it's just a weird thing, and it's it's just not like things are changing so fast that it's hard to keep up. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Back, the way that things have progressed in the last 20, 50, 100 years, they're progressing in ways that things have never progressed that fast before in the history of time, bro. Like, you cannot point to any period on recorded history that they were making strides the way we're making strides right now, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
agree.
like it's just a lot of it's just a lot to deal with as people, bro.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Nah.
But yeah, man, that's basically kind of like the sum up to me of like just the whole political thing and the information and disinformation and all the stories that are coming out and all this and that. It's like, bro, to a certain point, you look at how many people didn't vote compared to the last election this time. I think people just get to the point where they're just like, bro, like they're just giving up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like not even giving up like in life, but it's just like you get to a point where you're dealing with so
Yeah.
many things coming
They
at you
don't
from
feel it
so
matters
many
anymore.
angles that it's like, bro, what? Like you don't even know which thread to pull at to some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's like I said, bro, it's a lot happening, a lot changing, a lot of things that are going on, like and it's just, bro, I don't know, bro.
Do
I
you
don't know.
think it'll ever? Do you think it'll ever revert, or will it always continue to go in the direction of this need, or not? I wouldn't even call it a need, but this access to so much information. Do you think it'll ever kind of revert?
So, like to me, it's like a two-part answer. Because the quick answer is people will adapt to whatever the situation is, regardless. So it might take some years, but if the access is taken away, people will learn how to deal with it, and then the new people born will never have had that access, so they don't even have to withdraw from it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So people will always adapt. But on the other side of it, I always reference this short story that I read in elementary school, and I know y'all heard it because I mentioned it on the podcast. But it's basically a guy that went into the future. When he went to the future, everything looked kind of simple to him, and it was weird, and he felt like he might have went to the past by accident. And then he finally found someone who was actually mowing their lawn with like a manual lawnmower, like back in the day. And he's like, "Hey, what year is it? This is that." He started asking him, and the guy, basically he told him that he came from the past or whatever. And the guy told him, like, yo, something happened and we had to kind of revert back to the old way of stuff. Like we were doing too much and we had to slow it down. So like now people are riding bikes more. We don't use
Yeah.
so much energy, this, and that, whatever. The tone of the story, it was like a little kid story. So the tone was more like just hopeful about like, you know, pollution, things like that. It was when I was a kid, bro. So this had to be like, 20, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So it was like an older story. But the point in saying that is I definitely could see something because that story always stuck with me, bro. And I definitely could see something where we just get to this point where things get so crazy, dog, that they have to like revert back. You know what I mean? Like I could see, honestly, bro, like in my lifetime, a situation where like a certain amount of devices will just get bricked.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these things are just not gonna work anymore. Sorry, we just have to do this. You know what I mean? And there's just gonna be like a shut off of a certain thing that we've been doing, and people are just gonna have to adapt to it.
Yeah. there
Like
are
I could definitely see
a lot
something like
of
that happening, bro.
history is repeating itself, and like we go back to those stories how all the kids spend their time outside on bikes, and where people was because you saw all the bikes parked outside of somewhere, and like it's crazy because now, and I follow like certain Facebook neighborhood pages, especially the neighborhood around I live on, Avalon, and like they see like 40 scooters parked outside McDonald's, and they get so tight because there's blocking the front door, and it's like, but that's how it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's how when people were posted up somewhere. It was bikes back then. Now it's electric scooters, but some thing like things are trending from the past. It's coming back again, and just to touch back on a core memory, and I like that Lester brought up that core memory of his, and how different things are. I remember when I was in second grade, my dude, and this is gonna time me a little bit, but that's fine. I was in
Mm-hmm.
second grade, and it was like '92, and our second grade teacher, was asking us if we were gonna vote for George Bush, or Al Gore. They're OGs, the OG George Bush and Al Gore.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying right.
Yeah, yeah. If it was 92, it was Bush Senior.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. It was Clinton and Bush. Clinton and
Clinton and
Bush.
Bush. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the Gore was vice president. And we all voted in the classroom as second graders, and he tallied it up, bro. I remember this is a core memory in my head.
I remember that too. Now that you
And
say that, bro.
everybody tallied that shit up in second grade. Our teacher asked us if we tallied up because we were so innocent. There's no way that shit happens today. There's
Facts.
no way a teacher right now in a second grade classroom would say, who's voting for Kamala, who's voting for Trump.
Yeah,
There's no
it'll
way
turn
that shit
into
could happen today.
it'll
That
divide the
teacher,
classroom.
and the teacher would lose his job within a week. And that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
That's
And
actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
that's it's a core memory I still remember to this day, man. And it's like, I don't see that ever happening again.
Yeah. Something that is interesting that I've heard across different platforms lately is the idea that as organized religion starts to dwindle down, people are kind of transferring that energy into politics, and politics is kind of becoming the new religion.
Mm.
Yep.
And when you think about it, it really makes sense because it's not just wishful thinking when you think about in the past how not politicized things were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you didn't see people with a whole bunch of merch all the time, supporting their candidates even out of season, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't see the craziness that's going on now.
It wasn't. It just wasn't a detriment of your character as a human being on who you voted for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. People are disowning family members now
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for who you vote
There was more
for.
nobility in the candidates back in those days too, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was a situation where they were carrying themselves outwardly in a way where everyone would feel like, "Oh man, this is a stand-up dude," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is not the that's not the world we in anymore with politics.
Mm-hmm.
That vibe is gone.
That's kind
Yeah.
of the
Too.
point that I was
Go ahead.
saying about that conversation we was having a few weeks back, where I was like, the shock factor when Kanye West said George Bush doesn't like black people, compared to now, there is no shock factor. Like it's an everyday conversation. It's just a different dynamic with the people in these positions.
Yeah. I could imagine it like if somebody was, a colored person in the 60s and they're walking by somewhere and they're not allowed to go in and somebody else is like, "Dang, they're not letting you in there. I can't believe that." They'll be like, "Why can't you believe it?" There's
Right.
signs everywhere. It's like we're like that now, but it's just more like in a mental way. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Mm.
like a physical thing there that's saying, you know, this, these people are not allowed to go in here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's not like in the laws. It's just now it's just like in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that I don't want to insult these keyboard warriors on TikTok, but that is the whole purpose of these discussions. You know what I mean? We're called the Grounded Show. We're grounded individuals, and we're trying to relate this to our simple ass lives that we don't live like all these overexerted. I'm not going to use curse words. People who are just so, you know deep rooted into their beliefs. Like, yo, you got to have these conversations with people outside of what your belief is. Like, this
Yeah,
is the purpose of it.
that's
These are
a
what these
fact.
conversations are about. This is why we talk about it. If not, then you go talk to a fucking wall. It's better than talking to me about it. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, and it's something we've even discussed in the past, like just the concept of philosophizing. You know what I mean? I believe that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I might get fact checked on that, but it's just the idea of people coming together and sharing ideas to expand your mind, and you carry those ideas in your day, and it helps you to be informed and make better decisions. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it, bruh. It's even like as simple as this for me when it comes down to the politics thing. You know what I'm saying? Like and not even on some like racism shit, but just from the statistic factual standpoint. I look at it like this, bro. There's X amount of Puerto Rican people. I'm Puerto Rican, right? So there's X amount of Puerto Rican people in the United States. There's X amount of white people in the United States. That X for the white people is way larger than the X for the Puerto Rican one. So I just accept the fact that a majority of people that are not like me are gonna be making the rules because that's the majority here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you fight for that equality, and that always I'm never gonna be disrespected, and I'm never gonna be like treated like a sub person. You know what I'm saying? And that's the right that I have that I do feel as an American. I am proud of that because if somebody, I'm a business owner, bro. If somebody comes to me and talks to me any kind of way, I could tell them exactly how I feel and tell them to go somewhere else because I'm not helping you. And
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the color that they are, they can't bring a cop back. I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you, get the F out of here. I'm not effing with you. And I know that I'm not gonna have no lawful repercussion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at risk that they're gonna come and say, "Hey, this minority guy said this to
Yeah.
me. Lock him up." You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yep.
Like that, I do appreciate as an American, but I also understand that I'm outnumbered, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like not that I don't care about it because I stay very informed and I do care about it and I like to see where things are going and I always like I said, bro, I wish I was ignorant. You know what I'm saying? It would be
Yep.
so much easier to just not even care about stuff like this and just go about your day, but it's just I can't do that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I can also be realistic about it, you know what I mean? And that's just, you know, it's not the point of view that when I tell people that they agree with or even feel like that's the kind of point of view I should have. They kind of feel like it's like a give up kind of thing. But I honestly don't look at it like that, bro. Like I just look at it like what it is factually in front of me. You know what I mean? I don't attach any emotion to that conclusion that I'm coming to. You know what I mean? It's just a fact of life, bro.
100% agree.
What do you
That's
think
tough.
about that?
Hey, I feel you. I feel you. I think I agree with you. The person I am, it's hard for me to just detach myself from it. But that's just the person I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It is what it is. But also, there's the other side of me that's like, um, I'm still gonna call bullshit when I see bullshit. You know?
Yeah. No, and that's exactly what I was saying, bro. Like because I think that way, I'm not about to let some white people just talk to me however they want to talk to me.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
that's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just it's like I don't know, bro. Like America's a funny thing, man, because it's like we're in a situation where, like I said, I can come here and be sure that the laws are gonna protect me the same way they're gonna protect somebody else. But at the same time, it's not necessarily a place for me, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, bro. It's a weird, I don't know, man. And I feel like just how many different people here have different opinions, bro. Like I just don't see it ever getting to a place where we kind of come to like a majority agreement, dog, because there's just so many different people. You know what I mean? There's
Yep.
just every no, I know when I listen to the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne always says that black people are not a monolith. And it's like, bruh, that's anybody, dog.
Mhm.
White people are not a monolith. Spanish people are not a monolith. Like everybody thinks differently in every group, bro. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, we said when the neighborhood I grew up in, bro, we was all the same. We was all minorities. We was all our families was making the same money. Our families in the same situation. Everything was the same, bro. And we all had different opinions and we all saw everything a different way. How
Mm-hmm.
we come from the same exact stuff and all have such varying opinions on everything, bro. And can you say the other person's wrong? You know what I mean? Like, how can
Mm-hmm.
you say everybody else's opinion is wrong except for yours? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's a lot, bro. It's a lot to digest, and it's kind
It's
of
way
like
too
what we were
much
even talking about
confidence in that.
earlier. Yeah,
Say that again, Joe. I didn't hear you.
It's way too much confidence in that.
Mm-hmm.
You are not that smart to tell me
exactly,
your opinion.
exactly, bro. Yeah, man,
And
I
and
it's
think
that's
ridiculous.
somebody said the I forgot the quote, but basically like something along the lines of, the smartest thing I can say is that I know nothing or something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forget the
yeah,
quote.
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about though, but it's just knowing that everything is fluid in life, bro. That's gonna put you in a intellectual place that's gonna have you being able to navigate through things without emotion and even be able to deal with it a little easier, bro. Because it's like we always talked about, like in the beginning when we first started the show and we're really getting into these kind of topics. It's like, bro, you know that everybody's going through their own life and the most important thing to them is their life, and rightfully so. They're the ones that's living it. Their life or death is on them and nobody cares about that like them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got everybody thinking that way. You got to be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because if you can't, you're never going to get ahead. You're never going to get ahead if you're just thinking
Agree.
it's just like this and that's it. You'll get ahead with the people that think like you for sure, but that's where you're staying. If that's comfortable for you, cool. If it's not comfortable for you, then you're gonna have to be able to accept that there's other ideas out here.
And there's no growth in not accepting it.
Facts. But yeah, man. I gotta get ready to slide. If y'all down, we can hit them songs, bro. I want to do that little
We got
segment.
time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll kick it off just so y'all could kind of see what the vibe is. So I hit the guys up in the chat a couple of days ago, like, hey, let's do a thing. We'll bring up three different songs or albums or just something sonically for people to check out. So the three things are going to be something new, something that's just new to you, and something that you're revisiting. So as far as music goes, for me, the new song is a song called The Gentleman by Pete and Boss. Now, that actually ties into the new to me because Pete and Boss are these two old English guys, like from England, that rap and they do like drill rap and like it's like super gangster rap, but they're sliding, bro. Like like I'm telling you, dog, these dudes are like 60, 70-year-old white dudes, bro. And you watch the video and you're like, dog, this is crazy, but they are sliding. Like they got flow, they got lyrics, they got like the swag, they
Who are
got
they
good
again?
production.
Pete and
Pete and
Bob.
Boss.
Was Baz J. Cole's artist?
No,
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 no, no,
no.
no.
It's just
Oh,
these
it's a
two
different
old
one.
guys. Like you look them up,
They
bro.
got
Oh, they
videos.
really? That's the really the. I seen what you said. I didn't know if that was really them or this
Yeah,
just some
on the
artwork.
cover. Yeah, on the cover.
That's
That's
really
them,
them.
right?
That's
But
crazy.
no, no, but check this out. It's not really them because the new to me is a song by Nine and Dex. Those are the artists. Nine, like the number nine, and Dex, like Dexter. Nine and Dex, Pecan Pie. So Nine and Dex is like these younger white dudes from England that's rappers, and they basically just made Pete and Boss, like made that persona and changed their voices up to kind of sound gruffier and older, and
Mm,
just like got two older dudes to play them, and they shot videos for them. Like they played it like them old dudes was really the ones behind the music. So
Mm,
like they played it like that for like a couple years straight, bro. Like nobody knew, like, yo, who is, like, people suspected, like, bro, there's no way it's these old dudes, but they're lip syncing the lyrics and the videos. The voices kind of
that's
match
crazy.
what they look like. Like when you hear the guys talk, you're like, bruh, it's them. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? But it's like, it's not them because they're just rapping so like like it's so loaded, like the flow, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way these old dudes are rapping like that, dog. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So finally, it got discovered that it's Nine and Dex that's doing that them. And like Nine and Dex just started releasing music this year.
Ah.
That's crazy.
So 2024 is like the only music that I've seen from
Ah.
Nine and Dex. Like I
That's
haven't seen
crazy.
like no older stuff. And bro, their music is dope too. Like they have similar voices to Pete and Boss because it's them,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the same voices because they're putting on voices for Pete and Boss.
Bam.
So
Fire.
basically, like them two songs is like new to me because they just dropped some new Pete and Boss stuff, but the Nine and Dex song is like an older one.
That makes
Okay.
And
sense
bro,
now.
the
Hey,
Pete and Boss stuff
that's
and
unique
the Nine
shit.
and Dex stuff is dope to me. Like I like both of them, bro. I listen to both of
Yeah.
them as artists, dog. Like it's crazy, bro. And then the thing I've been revisiting is the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack.
Yeah.
At the
Mhm.
time, I was real in like my super gangster bag. And like that was like a movie soundtrack. So it wasn't like something that like you was like trying to pick up right away. Obviously, you heard the songs, you know, here and there. But I've been like really revisiting the soundtrack and like really just like taking it in Ayo in a way that I didn't when I was younger because I didn't really listen to it like in its entirety when I was younger. But that's actually a pretty dope album, bro. The Get
Yeah.
Rich or Die Trying soundtrack from the movie,
Mhm.
even though it has like the same name as like the actual album, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like another part of it too, where it's like, bro, you're not about to get me thinking this is like Get Rich or Die Trying, which is definitely nothing like Get Rich or Die Trying, but it's a slider, bro. I like one of my favorite songs on there is the I Don't Know Officer one, bro. That song is fire, dog.
Nah, that's crazy. That's a crazy story. That's a crazy story. I never even fucking would have put that together. That's a dope approach to making music, though.
Yeah, bro. I
Yeah.
thought it's crazy, dog, because like they really like were able to kind of put it up, pull it off, and you could tell they were putting promo into Pete and Boss, you know, as the
Yeah.
old guys. Like they were showing, they shot multiple videos. Like once you check them out later, you'll see like there's multiple videos. There's like them freestyling like at radio station type things. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where it's like, bro, like this thing really had people thinking it was like that because it would look
Yeah.
so authentic the way that they did it, but
Mhm.
it was really just the old dudes, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that was
was
a
really
great
just the young
marketing
dudes.
tactic, bro.
Yeah,
Great
bro.
marketing.
For real, bro.
No, that's dope. That is dope. I like that. I might have to turn a little ear to them tracks for sure.
Yeah. So who's next?
I'll go
Who got
ahead
they
and
songs, man?
I'll go ahead and go. So it's new to me and something I'll be revisiting. That's
New. So yeah, something that's new. Something that's new to you and something that's you listened to before that you're just listening to again for whatever reason.
all right. So I dropped this joint in the chat about a week and a half ago. So this is a new joint off Freddie Gibbs' new project. It's called Ruthless. Uh, I forget the name of the song that's sampled right, like off the top of my head, but it's a fire song. Like it's crazy because I like Freddie Gibbs and I've never been a huge fan. I like him, but I've never really like dig through his discography like that.
It was
But I
Cupid
let
112.
once, yeah, there it is. Thank you. Um, but when I heard that song or that project, because I actually let the whole project ride, it sent me down a whole like rabbit hole of just checking out Freddie Gibbs. I'm like, yo, this man is nice, dog. Like
No, he
Freddie
be
Yeah.
Gibbs
spitting.
is
He be
super nice,
spitting, bro.
dog.
He
Super,
don't get
super
his
nice.
due because like people put him on the corny side because of his antics, and it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. He's not like one of these younger artists, so he
Hmm.
don't play the internet the way that the younger artists play it.
I'll tell you, my
Exactly.
favorite shit on Vultures was Back to Me, and Freddie Gibbs' verse was
And
on
he went
there.
Yep.
crazy on
I
that verse.
fucking love that song.
Went
He be going
That's
crazy.
crazy, dog. He be
that's
going
my
Oh, he's
crazy.
favorite track
nasty.
still on Vultures.
So definitely, yeah, check out that new Freddie Gibbs album.
Yeah, and
Whatever
I'm a big
called
112
"You
fan.
Only
That's
Die
when you
Once."
sent that. I listened to it. I'm pretty sure I never responded back.
No,
That's
you
why I
did.
was
You
like,
did. You said it was
yeah,
fun.
no, I was like, bro, I was like, no. As soon as it was like, I sent it to all my boys because we're all fucking 112 fans too. I was like, yo, listen to this sample.
Yeah, he went dummy. So that's a new one. A new one to me. Um, it's called "Everyday." And it has Wiz Khalifa, Big Crit, uh, Currency, Smoke,
Jet Life, boys.
yeah, it's all of them basically. Um, and that's is off the Full Court Press project in 2022.
Okay.
And yo, so that one made me listen to that project. Which then I went down another rabbit hole of going back and listening to Wiz. And so something I've been revisiting is the ONIFC album.
Okay.
And
Mm,
like, bro,
classic,
that album is so
classic.
fire, dog. I didn't like when it came out. I knew it was fire, but going back and
Yeah,
re-listening, dog, ONIFC, dog, this man was in his super bag.
yeah, he was. That's when he was established. I feel that's when he was in like
Yeah,
I made it kind of
yeah. Because don't get me
because he
wrong,
had
I
some
love
features on
old
there.
Wiz. I love old school Wiz, but that to me
He
was
had
like the
Cam on there.
pinnacle.
He had Two Chains on
Yeah,
there.
that was
Yeah,
his like studio album. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
the
that
Like
was like the pinnacle
weekend,
of Wiz
bruh.
as
Two
a commercial
Chains,
artist. You know what I mean?
Juicy
He had
J.
everybody on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word, yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Those are
Yeah,
good. I
those
might
are
have
good
to add
ones
those
too.
back.
What about you,
Um,
Joe?
my new to me Big X the plug, and I know he dropped two albums this year, and I've only listened to his latest one, which is Take Care. And he reminds me of like Moneybag Yo, like maybe a Rick Ross. It's the same kind of cadence, same kind of flow. Pretty much every song, but what he does with the production is what stands out to me.
Mm.
And if you can get things cleared, that it stands out to me even more. So he had like the title track is the first track, Take Care, and he sampled Tell Me Why Our Loves Turn Cold by Willie Hutch, which is the same sample as Stay Fly by 3 6 Mafia.
Mm.
And he used a sample straight up, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just went off on it. And I was
Hmm.
like, and that's how he started the album. So I was like, all right, now you got me. If that's the first track I'm listening to, that's your title track, it's the first track, and you coming off that Stay Fly beat, and you going off, I'm listening to that.
He's really good at setting the vibe with his records.
Yeah, and I haven't even gone back to his previous ones. And then he dropped, and the beat goes on by the Whispers, which
That's the
that's
one,
the
boy.
Will Smith Miami same sample,
That's the
and
one.
he went off on that. The track is called Bro, went off on that. I was like, all right, and for someone who I'd never listened to before, and the best times I listen to albums when I'm in the gym because I got an hour to spare.
Hmm.
So if I could play it all the way through and not skip the track, any track on the album the first time
Yeah,
listen, that's a good album for me.
facts.
Mm.
So he sold me there. I've been listening to that one to repeat. I'm eventually gonna go back and see if he's consistent with it. But his recent one, I think it just dropped like in October. Take Care. He's new to me. I know he's been around for a minute, but definitely someone I'm gonna probably keep an ear out to. Revisited my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
Mm.
Mm. You been in your Kanye bag lately?
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, so I started with who did I start with?
Was it Jay Z first or Drake first?
No, who did I start with first? No, I think it was Kanye first. Yeah, I'm still on Kanye.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started with college dropout, like registration, graduation. Um,
I thought you had already was running through the discographies like of all the artists. Like you had already started.
yeah, but I'm still stuck on my beautiful dark
Oh,
twisted
gotcha,
fantasy.
gotcha, gotcha.
I ran Life of Pablo for a while. I ran Yeezus, and then I just kept going back to because the production, like starting off with Dark Fantasy and Nicki Minaj, you might have peeped the scene, but the fit was far too clean. The button down, the one below, made of centuries ago. Like I'm not even reading this lyrics or something. You know what I'm saying? Listen up, children. Zip it. Listen. Like, can we get much higher? And they're rolling the dark fantasy with the Kid Cudi, and like every single track from like Monster to So Appalled, the verses he had on there. Get Devil in a New Dress with that guitar breakdown and Rick Ross verses, and like it's just such an immaculate album that I need it to be remembered, and it's still right. It's literally right there,
No,
still
I
right
see
there
it.
on
I
my
see
Yeah.
wall.
it. Yeah.
And every time I go back, it doesn't even take me back to the time anymore because I remember the time I listened to it. It's just it makes me love it like I heard it for the first time, man. It's
No,
just
it's a good. It's a good
it's
Yeah,
one.
that's a
such a
classic.
well produced. All of the lights interlude. I tell everybody to this day at my funeral, all of the lights interlude. Lower
Mm.
my casket to that song, please. That is
Sheesh.
forever for the rest of my life. If it ever happens early or late, that is a song that I want you to play at my funeral. It's just it the like I said, the production, how
Gonna
all
happen
of
real late, cousin. real
Of
late.
course, yeah. I'm saying, but like it's just so impactful. Even the All of the Lights, the regular record, how we had like 12 different artists from like Elton John or Rihanna to Cudi, like all these people just doing like 2 second
Mm-hmm.
parts of that song just to make Fergie, just to make that song so glorious. What it
He
is
probably
like,
has to pay 0.5%
he probably makes
of
no
a
money
cent.
off that
That's
album.
why he probably got to pay every time that shit gets streamed,
Bro,
bro.
people probably listen to that shit, have no idea what went into there. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
facts.
a cool Kanye album, and it's like
No, you don't even
every
understand.
time I go back to it, I appreciate the genius that he was, and he probably still is, but unfortunately, he doesn't make that same kind of caliber of music. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I got to slide, dog. I'm gonna leave the people with this. And the beat goes on by the Whispers, dog. That's one of the
and the
best
beat
songs of
goes
all
on.
time, bro. It's a long song, but it's one of them songs that is still not long enough because it's so groovy, bro. So make sure y'all check that out, man. Stay Buddha.